Okay,
Good.
so today I'm just going to focus on our housing programs. They're extensive, and I'm just going to give you examples of kind of some of the work that we do here at Office of Housing and some of the projects that we've completed and some of the projects that we're currently working on, just as a broad overview. As Rain talked about, our mission is to develop, is responsible for the planning and administration and operation of the County of Hawaii's housing programs. That includes development, that includes our Section 8 rental assistance programs. Beyond that, we do have our housing and homeless fund that we manage, but I'll really be focusing today on housing more so for this group. Okay, so these are some of our strategies, priorities and strategies. And I will share examples about each of these as we move along today. So what we really look at is identifying public land for affordable housing development. We focus on rehabilitation and preservation of existing housing stock, looking at community land trusts. So I'm glad, Beth, you're here today. We have programs that prepare residents for rental or homeownership opportunities, technical assistance and funding opportunities, and a few future initiatives. So identification of public land for affordable housing development. I think many of you on this group have talked about identifying state and county land with infrastructure that's available and ready for housing development, and ways that the county can bring in infrastructure that reduces the cost of development to our partner developers. So a couple of projects that you may be familiar with that we've completed recently, Hawaiʻi Koa o Hanakahi, that's the elderly veteran multifamily housing facility right on the corner of Kauili Street, next to Waiakea High School. And that's 91 units for residents, 62 and older. And it's a beautiful facility that's on state land that was executive ordered to the county that we leased to the developer. Another smaller project that we are probably near completing is a state land parcel in University Heights that was executive ordered to the county from the state, and we leased to Hale o Hawaiʻi, your community land trust here, and they developed one home for a family earning up to 100% AMI. And so I think that's pretty close to near completion, or close to that family moving into that home. Currently under construction, we have Nahale Makoa, which is county land in Kamakoanui, Waikoloa. That's 139 units. That's just started to go vertical. And those are for units. Those units are for residents, 30% AMI all the way up to kind of workforce housing, 140% AMI. And then also under construction, or soon to be under construction, I think the bid has just gone out for Kukui'ola Emergency Shelter and Assessment Center, and that's state land under county, executive order to the county. That project has been, a long time coming. Phase 1 will be 16 emergency shelter units, 46 safe overnight parking stalls, and other amenities. And phase 2 is 50 permanent supportive housing units. That Kukui'ola is just Kealakehe Parkway, just down from the West Hawaiʻi Civic Center. So future projects that we have is we have 30 lots subdivided in Oʻakala. This is county land. We are looking to put in a road and infrastructure. And then those lots, we haven't gone to the next step of who will take ownership of those lots, either for sale or for development. But that's a future project that's on county land. High Street, there's also a large parcel there. that we are subdividing. Well, currently, not currently, we are just doing the EA on the high parcel and some surveying, and that's 37 lots for single family homes and 2 parcels for multifamily housing. Kamakua Nui is a larger development. There are multiple parcels in Waikoloa. We're looking at constructing a mini loop road in that area. And then our 34 Rainbow Drive, which is the old hospital, that's state land, that's a state building. It's under EO to the county. And we have $13.6 million congressional funds to renovate that property in 2 phases to update it. For right now, there's an emergency shelter in the old hospital. So looking at doing some renovations to put that into better use, or to allow for better conditions for those that are there in the emergency shelter. There is a greater master plan for that property and the surrounding areas. So this is some of the ways that we take state and county land and work either with county projects ourselves or with partner developers to develop housing and other programs. And these are just a few. We have many, so that's just an example. Rehabilitation and preservation of existing housing stock. So we do have county-owned facilities that we maintain for affordable housing and renovate. 2 of those current projects are Kulaʻimano elderly housing and Ouli Ekahi cottages. And then we also have our residential repair program that will be launching this spring. And the residential repair program is a program that allows families, homeowners earning up to 80% AMI to, we offer low interest loans that may be converted to grants based on affordability. And that is for the home repairs. So when that program is available, that's just an incredible program for our community and for families in our community, homeowners in our community. Okay. This is a community land trusts are, and Beth, I'm glad you're on this call because this is an initiative that I feel is possibly just underutilized, and we need a lot more support for community land trusts because it is one of our greatest opportunities to put housing and homeownership into our community. I'm sure you've had conversations here at the coalition about our community land trust. So we have 3 projects with a community land trust. One that I just talked about was the University Heights Land Trust Pilot Project with Hale o Hawaiʻi. And this house here is a turnkey that we're able to sell for about $300,000 near University, which is very, I mean, almost unheard of in Hilo right now. And it's just that pilot project is a great opportunity to show how community land trusts can work and how we can be in partnership with them. We have another project under construction in Volcano, and then one future project in Waiakeauka that, again, with Hale o Hawaiʻi. So just, one house at a time, just small projects, but this is how we're gonna get it done. The big multifamily projects take a long time and a lot of money to develop. And all we do is really put people in a cycle of rental. And this community land trust to me is such an important opportunity and model for families to have some ownership and to earn equity. So just one at a time, that's how we're going to make it happen. We do have programs here that prepare residents for home ownership. So we have our financial empowerment services that we partner with Hawaiian Community Assets. We support them through a grant, and they provide one-on-one financial counseling and coaching for, to get families ready for home ownership. Within our Section 8 program, we also have a family self-sufficiency program, which is completely underutilized. But this program helps families that are currently on Section 8 housing vouchers. So the way Section 8 housing vouchers work is a family must pay 30% of their adjusted income towards their housing, towards their rent. So you might think that a family doesn't want to make more money, or it limits their opportunity for growth, because if they get a better job, if they get a raise, they're going to wind up paying more in rent, because their 30% portion will go up. But if they participate in the family self-sufficiency program, we will match whatever that 30%, whatever that increase is. So say they get a raise at work, now they have to pay $100 more a month towards their rent. We'll match that $100 payment, and we'll put that in a savings escrow account for them. And for 5 years, as long as they're achieving their goals, they work with a counselor for an action plan. And as long as they're achieving their goals, they stay with the program for 5 years, all of that extra income that they are earning and then paying towards their rent, they're accruing in this escrow account. And at the end of 5 years, we cut them a check. And sometimes, well, when I was a Section 8 division manager, seeing those checks come through, I mean, $20,000, $30,000. And that is really awesome for a family to either look for homeownership, have a little bit of a down payment, put towards a business, put towards some of their goals, pay down debt. So that's a completely underutilized program here in our office, and we're always encouraging families to participate in that. The other underutilized program, for several reasons, is the homeownership option program. And that's where a family that's part of our Section 8 program who is receiving a voucher can use their voucher towards their mortgage payment for up to 15 years. So, I mean, that's just really incredible opportunity for families. The challenge is most families that are on the Section 8 program are between 30 to 80% AMI. So to find a home that they can afford and that they can actually be competitively making an offer on is very challenging. So if we can partner our homeownership program with a community land trust program so that some of our Section 8 families actually have a pathway to homeownership, you know, that's one of our goals. So these are just some of the programs that we have that help to prepare our community and families that are already participating in programs, county housing programs, to achieve homeownership. So let's see, the other thing is technical assistance and funding opportunities for developers. I know we've talked about a bit about this, Daryl, as far as the technical assistance piece and wanting to be a little bit more helpful from our county staff for developers who are looking to get into affordable housing development. You know, it's just a really complex pathway, especially with regards to funding, especially with regards to state and federal funding. But our office has been doing it for 50 years. So we have a lot of experience here in our office that we can provide to developers. Sometimes you just have to really work hard to get us to sit down at the table and to take the time to provide that expertise to you. But I feel like that's something that I'd like to be more committed to here at Office of Housing, is really helping our next generation of affordable housing developers really learn how to do this. So We have many funding sources that we utilize, both in-house and with our relationship to the state HHFDC for financing affordable housing. And one of the programs that we have here for county funding is our affordable housing production program. Some of the projects that I showed on the previous slides have also taken advantage. So they've been able to layer county or state-owned land layered with affordable housing production program funds to kind of cover some gap funding to make that development a lot more affordable to the homeowner. This affordable housing production program was established by the county. We have a minimum of $5 million every year to award. And yeah, usually it's mid-year, like May, around May, that we put out the RFP. We do community meetings or public meetings to help developers understand what this funding can be used for and how to apply. We have a few and often growing federal funding, community development block grants, home partnership program grants, American Rescue Plan, Housing Trust Fund grants. So we have a whole grant team here that can help developers understand and how to apply for these federal funds and how to maximize the funding. And then, as I mentioned, technical assistance with regards to our Chapter 11 affordable housing policy, housing credits, just expedited permitting for affordable housing. There's many opportunities that we have to help move projects along, and that's really what we're here for. So future initiatives, we are doing a comprehensive updating of Chapter 11 of the Hawaii County Code relating to affordable housing, our affordable housing development, affordable housing in general. Last year, there was an ad hoc committee, and a few of you may have participated on that committee to do a comprehensive review. And so over the next 7 to 8 months, we will be taking the code apart section by section and rewriting the code. And then the other initiative that is kind of a personal initiative for me, so this is not approved right by the county, but it's a personal initiative, is to learn how to develop a community land bank. So community land banks are often public organizations or public entities that are established for the purpose of creating a land bank. So basically abandoned, donated, blighted, tax clearance properties that, tax clearance, it just goes out to auction. Abandoned properties just sit there, blighted properties just sit there. There are mechanisms where we can create a public land bank for these types of properties and then rehabilitate them and put them into use either for sale, leasehold, for rent, in partnership with community land trusts. So that's a kind of a personal interest of mine and a personal passion of mine, is to really figure out how to maximize our vacant blighted properties, our tax clearance properties for the purpose of affordable housing for our communities in partnership and in relationship to our community land trusts. Back in 2018, I was managing the Association of Realtors, and we had the Leilani lava flow, and I would have so many people that called just saying they wanted to donate land, a lot in Nanavale. Their parents bought it back in the 60s. They inherited the property. They had never been to Hawaii, and they just wanted to find an avenue by which they could donate land. And we didn't have a mechanism, and we still don't have a mechanism where that can be donated for affordable housing purposes. So that's just a future initiative that I'd like to see our community take on. So how to get involved? Well, we do have a consolidated plan. That is a plan that we need to do every year for HUD. We publish that. It's on our website, and the draft is currently available. And we ask for public comment, public review and comment on our plan. That's due by March 10th. So it's not a very fun plan to read because it's written for HUD, but I do think it's important that those of you that are involved in housing, in affordable housing, housing in general, community development, take a look at it and provide comment to us. It'll make the plan better, and it'll allow us to direct some of our funding more appropriately based on community comment. So that is available on our website. And then the Affordable Housing Production Program, that will be launching. Also, the Rental Repair Fund will be launching soon. So both of those I'll get out to the coalition for you to share out. And I think that's all. So I can take questions.